I I am sorry, gang. I just ran into the house. We literally just took this in the signal channel like 30 seconds ago. I am sorry. I ran into the house, got to the computer, started running started coming down here, opened up the stream, set the buy limits. Literally, as I'm turning the stream on, it just tapped. We're running in we got a runner right now in the signal channel at 30 pips in profit. Congrats to everybody that took that with me in the signals. And we are running right now. I'm sorry. I ran here as fast as I could try to get this wick. So we just made, I closed full here on the funded account at 770. I think I'm at payout here. I got to double check, or I'm like close to payout. That's why I didn't want to have this come back here for me on the runner. But our signals are running in some deep profits right now at 36 pips. 38. We're about to be over 40 pips in profit here. Yeah, entry was 99 flat. I had a level at 4299. If you guys played my levels from last night, I didn't stream this morning. I didn't get to stream this morning. Sorry, my Zoom's not even up yet. Give me 1 second. I ran in here. I tried to get you guys the trade. I really tried to get this on stream. We literally took this. It went in the signals. I'll tell you what time the signal activation was. We got activated in the signals at 7:54. 7:54 we entered. I set a limit here on the signals. I tried to set a limit. I got activated at 99.2. I tried to set a limit at 99 and it dropped heavy, so I just market executed. So really I'm thinking we'll get more positions, but if you guys played my levels from last night, you smacked it here for about 100 pips earlier today. Yesterday I spoke about having a sell limit at 42.72. Actually 42.71.8. I said I was going to set a sell limit if I was on the charts. This happened at 9:30 in the morning. I was not at the charts. Today was the first New York session that I didn't even open the charts until like 4 p.m. And what happened is, yeah, like look at this. You probably had 100 pips there. If you guys paid attention last night, and if you paid attention the night before, the level I called, it tapped about an hour after the stream, also ran. So yeah, get used to these levels. Get used to these levels. Yeah, our BE on 10% of our runner just got tapped. So yeah, great start to the evening. Made $2,040 on the live. Made 770 here on the funded. Great job, everybody. Great job. Let me get the Zoom link up. Hold on. I ran here. I opened up the stream before we could even do. Before we even do Zoom, I just wanted you guys to get in that trade with me. And someone in the Signal channel just wrote, that was a quick one. Oh man. I rushed. I tried, gang. You can't blame me. But I'm glad to have you guys here. Anyone in here right now that took that with me in the Signal channel? Anyone on stream right now that took it with me in the Signal channel? Hold on, I'm sending out the Zoom link right now. Great fucking trade. Missed it, but I think we'll grab another one soon. Yeah, Ben, you're in the Signal channel, right? Hey, Atlanta Premier Catering. That's Husky. What's up, Husky? Yeah, you're in the Signal channel. I know some people missed that too because it was a market execution just because my my time was running out for me to get in that trade to set up a buy limit, but we smacked it right there. That was perfect. Let me hold on. Did I send out the Zoom link? Well, I'm dropping you the Zoom link right now. Give me 1 second, chat. sorry. I didn't realize I'm on mute. I'm over here talking to you guys. Another buy, I'm looking at it right now. Level about 293. Hold on, let me send you out all this stuff. Yo, you guys don't have to flood me with DMs about my real name. I don't hide my real name. Just a running inside joke forever. So, Lucas, will you be on tomorrow for New York? I plan on it. I really plan on it. I really plan on it. But that was a fucking sniper trade. 0 drawdown, straight into profit. We collected about 36 pips, right? Look at the signals. What do we close? Yeah, our best closure was around 26 pips twice. What's the signal channel? The signal channel is the people that just made this money right here. Hold on, I keep saying I'm gonna post this. There we go. There's the zoom. So you see almost no trading done here, middle of the week. One break-even trade, one break-even trade, no trading at all on Wednesday. And this is last. It's been a very, so for 3 days, I didn't really trade. I had one trade here. I only traded here for a half hour that day, and then I had to run. I had no chance to make this back. One break-even day, one break-even day. Oh, we're on a copied account. Yeah, this is our regular day. Oh, I took the trade on the wrong account. So we didn't get any closer to a payout. Yeah, we didn't get it. I'm sorry. I took it on the copied accounts. So yeah, we did not get any closer to a payout. Break even day for me here yesterday. Win. No trade, break even. Amazing. So at the gym. Yeah, I was just gonna take that trade and call it, but you guys didn't get it. So kind of pissed I fucking rushed here. I don't think you're updating your stream right here. We had like 6 wins this week that I can think of. So if they were not on stream, I don't add them to the record. Dude, there's over 1,000 wins if we talk about signal channel and stream together, but there's call it. Oh man. So we got to raise this account up. This account is up already for the night. What do you use to document your trades? My terminal. Yeah, let's fill up. There was a good W right now. We just took a trade. You know, we're like, the trade literally closed out about 6 minutes ago. So we're just gonna sit here and reevaluate a little bit, right? And wait for some new setups, wait something more to form. Hey gang, we're at 27.9999999K subs. Can we get one more sub to get to 28K and then another 1,000, like 1,001 Arabian Nights? Can we have 1,001 Wix's subs? Oh yeah, we can do it. Let's get to 29K tonight. Subathon. Hey, bum. Hey, gang. Join the signals, man. You guys would not have missed this trade about 10 minutes ago. Told you. Someone's waiting to pay with crypto. We cannot use PayPal. Huh?
You took some sells?
No, we just had a buy here 10 minutes ago on the signal channel. If you turn on the go to beginning of the stream, you hear me talking about we're still running in this thing. I took it. You see it right here. That's the problem. I literally took it as I was starting upstream. I ran here. I got in the house. I saw this coming down heavy. I had this level as a 4-hour right here. Right, it was a 4-hour level with a 4-hour wick. So this is how it looked for me. There, boom. Just kept the stops below the 4-hour wick. The 4-hour body was, yo, what is going on? That was the trade right there. Boom. That was the stop right there. And our wishful TP. We closed it around. Sorry, it wasn't on that 4-hour. It's on this one, this bottom wick right here. All right, so this is what it looked like on the hourly. Right, these were the stops. We just, unfortunately, we tapped that area with like 6 minutes to go. If you look, the candle that tapped us in right there, it's the 750 candle. So we got in at 754 was entry. 754 right there. See it? And this was, yeah, we collected about 26 pips. And then the rest would be break even.
Nice. I had sells from...
That was 10 minutes ago. You had the celery play right here, right?
Yeah, from like 310.
Yeah, if I didn't have to stream, I probably would have done it for content. I wanted to be like, watch this sell and watch this buy all in one video at once. I wanted to make content. But
those are the best moments.
I got to stream.
It happens on stream.
Yeah. Someone's waiting to pay with crypto. I know you are. I haven't even thought about taking care of that just yet because I'm thinking about how to get to streaming at our normal schedule in mornings and evenings again with everything I got going on. I haven't even thought about taking your payments. Say. Hey, Q3J, what's your name? Because I see all the hieroglyphics and the Mandarin, Korean, Japanese. I don't know. It's not a Caucasian language. I don't know what your name is. 50 pip stops getting eaten? No, I had like a 62 pip stop. Damn, you missed the bounce? Yeah, you missed the bounce. I don't know if you missed it, but it's all right. I missed today's trade at 9:30 that I promise you I would have not secured until I caught 100 pips on it. And we would have caught 100 pips, but I missed all of that. And I know like I'm able to be, honest with myself and say, yeah, I probably would have hit BE there. I probably would have got taken out here, but no, we would have gotten 100 pips today. Or 9:30, NYC open, lots of volume. Trade bounced off our level, our direction. We were Gucci this morning. You missed the trade too? Damn. Yeah, half the signal channel missed the trade. It's 8 o'clock. You guys got to be locked in. There's some people in here that took it. Yeah.
Like a 30-second trade, man.
I realize I just ran in the house. That's why you guys didn't get the limit. You should have received the limit order. Like if I had another 10 seconds, literally, if I had another 10 seconds, I would not have market executed. I would have set the limit and you guys would have had about 10 seconds to get to it. If I had about 20 minutes, I saw this level from 20 minutes ago. Unfortunately, I was on the I-95 reversing across 6 lanes of traffic trying to get home. And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, as I ran in the house, set a limit here. Look at this, now it's running. There's perfect entry there. That would have been TP. Why don't I see it? all the way down there. Yeah. 70 pips. TP would have been about 112. This morning, this was the level that I spoke about yesterday. Right? 72. I think 71.8 is how I plan to get entries. There, and 71.8 here would have smacked. Right? Gave you 180 pips. I would have just closed at 100 right there. 42.63 areas. Trump speaking just now. Let's see. Great job, great job, great job here. Very nice. Did I let the Zoom channel in? You guys in here? You guys are in here. Eddie, what's up? I'm all over the place right now. I had nothing ready, nothing to go. I didn't even think I was going to be home this early. Like, we're winners for the night. I mean, we got dubs. This is what we wanted. I've yet learned how to take partials on TradingView. So if you take a buy limit, right? Oh, sorry, let's do it down here so we don't get activated on anything. So let's say we have a limit, right? Limit by, actually, no, we need a 2. Limit by 2, right? And we come down, we activate, we set a buy stop. I'm sorry, limit sell for 1, right? So as soon as it taps this and you're in, you do limit sell for 1, you bring it to where you want the partial, and when it gets there, it'll close out 1 and you'll have 1 left running here. Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
That makes sense? Got it. Thank you. Yes, sir. Why not take half? In what sense? Trades we like. Drizzle, you all right? You keep trying to join. Every night. Like 5, 6 attempts. You ever be pissed that the trade went into profit or got activated too soon? I mean, I'm like literally another 10 minutes, gang. And we would be sitting here just talking about it. Do we even want to continue to stream? Now I feel like I got to give the stream a W. But it's going to be a little bit of waiting. Get rid of that. $43 minutes here. Right, I don't have any limits here because this is the all one candle, same 4-hour candle, right? We had a limit right here that we wrote up. Now a limit up here at the hourly levels is not too great in terms of the 3rd time or the 4th time we're coming back here. Look at all these wicks into this area. At some point we got a break, and look at the 4-hour. The 4-hour is loading up, right? Never broke the previous 4-hour. If it flips, it can start driving, filling this wick to the left here, and we don't want to be in a sell when that's happening, right? With the higher time frame being bullish, the daily bullish, the 4-hour bullish, the 1-hour about to close bullish. We're driving up off support. It's bearish, but the previous hourly, right? But now we've kind of broke that low, and now we're driving up off support. But while it was bearish, it still respected this area, and this candle has just made that bottom wick start coming up. Once it closes, it'll confirm this support. So maybe a bottom wick off the next candle. If we don't break highs here and don't ride up and we close like we are right now, it's a possibility we could see an entry off the bottom wick off the next candle as long as we open up with a bottom wick, right? It would make sense to like load up, but we'll probably jump to the smaller time frame because these levels, we're probably not coming back down here if we're going to get a bottom wick off the next candle. We already retested that area a few times. It's going to be just the next support right above it. And if we just go down time frames, we should see something. But probably keep it deeper in range.
Quick, you want to delete that buy limit? Because that's not a real one, right?
Yeah. No. That's not. That's just for the sake of explaining things. Thank you. Yeah, so we'd probably want to see, right? We hold this support. We understand this is eating up a lot of range here, right? So it's very tough to take the break of the high on the onion there. But we hold support here like this. If this is the opening right here, this is the level I would look for in terms of buys. What level is that? So we probably want to round that number off. At 42.99, we probably want it at 4,300 here. That's a savage number, 4,300. I'll probably go a pip above 4,301 just in case you get to 4,300 flat and come up and you don't get activated because of spread. I'll go 1 pip up, right? But you're going to need to close strong bullish. The next candle must open up with a bottom wick with no top wick. And when I mean strong bullish, you're going to need this hourly closure because the 30s open bullish, but the previous hourly is bearish. So no matter how much you're driving up, you can still flip bearish on the hourly until the 1 hour closes. At that point, you have the 4 hour bullish, the 1 hour's closed bullish. The 30 is going to close bullish for that to happen. And then you're getting that bottom wick, right? You see how every time frame will line up at that point, and you're going to be sitting pretty. I mean, you can have a buy limit at 42.70, but like, I'm not looking to be in positions during London session, which is when we're going to get there, if we get there. We got 9 minutes here for the 30 close. I like the buys at 43.07 if the 30 closes bullish. What do you think? I at the 15 level, right there. Oh, 43.07. You mean on the break of the highs? I don't like anything here. The range is too chewed up, right? It's chopped and screwed. Been through it multiple times. I like to create a high. I like to create a support, and I like to retest that high, right? I like to retest that support. After that, I don't like anything else. I'd like a break outside the range. Once I've understood we're ranging, I'd like a break outside it because my goal is to trade volume. And if we don't break outside the range, there's no volume. If there was volume, we'd break outside the range. Kind of like, you know, yeah, one without the other. We won't be able to make it tonight. Agent session. See you tomorrow. Taking your son to the ER. Good luck. Prayers for Lieb. Hold on a second, gang. By the way, like, I'm gonna try to go long tonight for a long stream. I hope we can get another trade in. But you know what's tough part about certain aspects of life? Like some struggles you got to go through on your own. You just like, I can't even share with you what the fuck's going on. I can't. I can't tell nobody what's going on. I'm going through a lot of shit. I'm gonna go smoke a joint. Give me a sec. Those are the worst, right? When you got a struggle and you know, like I can already see it ahead, right? And that's a struggle I got to go through on my own, and that is the worst. Got to go through it in silence, yeah. I don't know. And look, gang, I appreciate your understanding, right? I appreciate you understanding. If you've seen me over the last half a decade. We've been as consistent as hell. I've been here every day through vacations, through breaks, through weekends, through holidays. You know, all the streams. We haven't really missed anything, and I appreciate you guys understanding and still rocking with me for over the last month or two. I mean, we've been killing it trading wise, but I understand the streams, the New York streams haven't been as consistent as they need to be in terms of showing up, not in terms of W's. We're consistently winning. We're not consistently showing up here lately. Wonder if we're breaking down here. Yep, let's see what happens. 5 minutes to the 30. Couple of minutes, gang, please.
Yeah, was Wix muted?
No, I don't think he's back yet.
He's not here, Sam.
All right, I thought my shit was bugging. All right, appreciate you.
That's nice here. 1 hour respected. Seen below. Attempted to drive up. The 4 hour, that's the only thing. We can get the 4 hour closure. I'm skeptical of this because we're selling here against the 4 hour. If we're looking at the break of the lows, if anyone's looking at that, yeah, we could come down here. But this would be against the 4 hour. And as we break this low, we can bounce up right off the 5 level here, right below us. Sells look good. Yes, sells look good. Just, like I said, I'm not one of those mics that turned red when it's on mute. You know, it could be a cool idea. Yeah. That would be cool. All right, so we had a 5 close here. Be a 5 celery play. I honestly, I don't like the sells here. Just because of the 4 hour. If the 4 hour was bearish and we were the previous one and we were just continuing coming down, I would love these sells. We have not broken the previous 4 hour low. Highly likely we still come back in range. The hourly still open. Now let's say the hourly closes, doesn't drive. The next hourly is most likely going to need a bottom wick to come back up, and then we could take advantage of that. But now the hourly's got a bottom wick here, right? We could just close respecting this level again. All these wicks were really bearish at one point. Trade away down for you guys. Yeah, I'm not trading right now on Trade Away, so I don't know. I have an account on Trade Away, but I'm not trading it right now, so I haven't traded it. I'm also not. I don't want to be too aggressive with dubs secured here already today. Your Trader Bait is up. I will say this, we've made a bottom wick here. If we can re-break highs, the sell would make sense. Right? Because we created a top wick, attempted to drive, small top wick, small attempt, bigger top wick, bigger attempt. 30 close lit candle. I expect price to come back up. That's a lot of orders grabbed. If we start breaking lows here after attempt to come back up, I don't disagree with you, but there's going to be an attempt to come back up. That might have been it though, to this range.
Yeah, to the body of the candle, yeah. But usually once it touches that, it'll come down, and if it doesn't break, it should go back up, I think.
Yeah, like this is the decision-making area in this case. You're right? This body of the candle right there. That closure, for this wick, and that we came back there. That's where the decision's made for this candle. Yeah, it's not an easy area to trade against the 4 hour. Hey, pretty lady, how are you? They went to bed. Sam.
They got drilled by Emily's room.
Oh, the customers. Hey, move over, move over. You're shaking my hopes up. Can you do me a favor? Bring me a bottle of water. Thank you. We break highs? Not. Stops for sells. He's got the break of the previous candle low. Lighter here, cigarettes outside. Here. Great trade. Great trade. I'm really glad we got that here. Yeah, I'm really happy we took this here because it makes so much easier to not take the less likely position. Oh, it's your birthday? Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. When we hit 100K, Wix, you and the mods doing that group photo? Yeah, I'm down.
Let's do it.
I'm fucking down. Definitely maybe something. 100K, I'm taking you guys out. We're going on vacation, all of us. Third buy level mark. Please, no, we already have buys. We already have buys here a little bit earlier. So there's no buy level here right now. We're breaking the lows here. We're either going to fake out back into range on the higher time frame and close bullish here and look to see if we can come up. Or we're going to break down and look for a fake out to come back up. Or we're going to look for some buys at probably 80 areas, 4280. I really got to see for me, what I would like to see, right? I personally would like to see this. It'll just make our life so much easier. This gives you direction for the rest of the night, that big candle. You have no reason to start coming back down to these areas. It's just you're going back to the top of the range here, range around, or you're going to smash. See if we print what I want to see, or do we come down? 3 minutes here, the 15 looking like it's going to fake out and come back up in range. Like I said, there's a reason I didn't want sells on that flip or break of those. Just 4 hours bullish, previous 4 hour. This could just be a bottom wick on it. you can technically get this same sell in a little bit. If we really want to come down, the next 4 hours is going to have to come down, right? You can get that same sell eventually when it does come down. You don't have to be in here now. You guys got to start showing up earlier. Early bird gets the worm. You guys showing up at 9:30. I know you can't, but how's it going? Christian Q. What's up? Is that a new name in the Zooms that I see? Or have you been here? I remember. Oh no, you've been here, Christian. Yeah. Or not? Was that Carlos? I'm bad with names. I'm bad with names. You gotta have like a name that really stands out for me to remember you, like had $1 million, now I'm broke. FX. Had $1 million, now I'm broke. FX. Like I remember jackpot lottery winner, right? Because like who else is a jackpot lottery winner? What's the reason for not buying at support? We did. We had buys here. Earlier, like right here, we had an entry right here when we first hit it. Very beginning. I'm OG, but how do I prove it? That is not an OG name. YKSW7NMR? Bro. Strong bullish when it goes up. That means gold will go up for the rest of the day? No, it means gold will go up for the rest of the session. We have no reason to not look for buys at that point. Gotta remember the username is Shuix. Yeah. Think he's slick. All right, if you're an OG, then you'd be able to wait. No. Wow, you joined 12 years ago. Your YouTube account is 12 years old. Wait, are we getting what we were talking about just now? Are we getting what we just drew out? Drew it out from here. Fucker's gonna do it, isn't it? I'm not telling it what to do. I swear. That's so nuts. Really, it's gonna print how we drew it. It's not as nuts, really. The candle halfway filled. Yeah, like remember, it says it's gonna make that decision here. It's either gonna fill this wick or break down completely. It's not gonna stick around here. Yeah, welcome to the new viewers. If you're new here, please drop a like, sub to the channel. I appreciate you guys doing that. And that's the only way we grow here, right? If you guys just do your part, I do my part. I keep providing wins. You guys just like, sub, and please share this stream so we can have more like-minded people in here. 2 comments in the last 365 days. You know what's funny, Sam? I already checked it and I didn't want to say anything. I only saw 2 comments and I'm like, yeah, gonna ignore. Done. Liked and subscribed. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate that. Now tell me, what is your plan, sir? Rifki Rama. The plan is to wait for this 1 hour to close right now. The 1 hour might close heavily bullish, and our plan will be to have some buy limits at this support, right around around 4,300 flat, right there. Right, we are going to look, as long as we can close like I just showed you, right? We're going to need that heavy bullish candle. As long as we get that, that means the 1 hour close is holding support. The 1 hour has eaten up a lot of the range. You can't really take a buy on the break of highs here for an onion because you're going to be buying into resistance. But if you open up with that bottom wick after getting a strong bullish closure here, right? We can't break down right now. We have to close like we are right now. If the candle opens up with that bottom wick, I'm going to expect the next hourly to have a top wick. So this is what I would look for, right? Entry will be right there. For that bottom wick, stop will be right there. I'm not expecting that stop to break. If it breaks, then, you know, we're headed the other way. Most likely. So right now, you gotta be patient. You gotta do the part that we know how to do the best, and that's wait. Data man, that's way better, yeah. New here. Yeah, honestly, options, I'm new here too. Is this live? I'm in a bullish as fuck, but it's only the 5 minute. It can stay bullish only for the next 1 minute. Oh, look, right there, it's closed, and maybe the next 5 minute will be bearish as fuck, right? So that's the thing, the 5 minute can switch up on you. It's like, think of it as a friend you've known for 5 minutes. But instead, turn these into months, right? The friend you've known for 5 months, friend you know for 15 months, friend you know for 30 months, friend you've known for, I don't know what this is, for a decade. Your whole life. Okay, your last name was borderline hieroglyphics, yeah. I trade like I'm new. No, you don't, bro. 9 minutes here for the closure. 9. Are you currently in a trade? No, we already had one. I'm looking for a buy off support here once this candle closes off a bottom wick off the next hourly candle. Does that make sense? Just drew it. Go back about 5 or 4 or 3 minutes. Do what I'm looking for. We just got to be patient here for the next hour. I mean, for the next 10 minutes, for the next hourly candle. But as I said, great job, everyone who took that W with me. If you saw that in the signal channel as we were starting to stream, congratulations. You probably understand it very well now. 2 p.m. 1 hour candle, low purge and reverse would be better. What do you say? Low purge. I'm not sure what purge means.
That's when the government shuts down for a day and you go out with your guns and you start taking care of things.
Oh.
And you pull out that 6.9 gun. Bang, 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 bang.
It's Jewish. It's Jewish.
It's Jewish.
It's a Hebrew gun. Imagine it went Stein. It's definitely a Jewish gun. Yeah, I got a Weinstein and Wesson, Smith and Weinstein. That's a Jewish gun. Smith and Weinstein. Wesson, nah.
Hey, bro, that was really fucking funny.
Smith and Weinstein.
Smith and Weinstein. I'm gonna roll one just for that.
I'll join you.
Cheers.
Man B. Remember the basketball courts? Man B. I got next. Man B. Gathering a team right now. Who wants to run 3-man?
Man B, 3-man.
I would say that and they would tell me to shut the fuck up and kick me off the court.
Yeah.
I used to be like 5'2", trying to play basketball, and they're like, "Bro, you can't play here."
Don't worry, gang. We can have a gun for everybody. We can have. What will be a Muslim? I can't do a Muslim gun, you guys. Habibi launcher.
The hookah launcher.
What are those yellow lines and white horizontal lines? Wait, where do you see white horizontal? There's only yellow lines. These are my levels. Levels of interest where I believe we will see market react. And we did. We saw a reaction here, right? But I really want a stronger candle. This isn't good enough because look, we just cannot close down here. Right, we cannot have the last 15 reject. We need a push. Horizontal's the cursor. Oh, yeah, the cursor. That's my mouse. Yeah, that's where I believe market will have a reaction.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're looking at vertical lines, bro, turn your head. You might be looking at it sideways.
Break your neck. Break your neck. Yo, that was a dope video. Remember they're riding on the Escalade?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Breaking neck, Buster Rhymes. No? Really?
I know the song, but I can't picture the music video.
Busta Rhymes used to have the most wildest music videos.
Yeah.
Hype
Always.
Williams behind that shit. Loved it.
I'm in Missy Elliott, boy.
You know what? They had
Yeah, Missy Elliott was fire too.
Let me tell you something. You probably won't like it, but a lot of it had a lot of it is Diddy influence in terms of the glamour of the video and shooting them like this. But yeah, they got the old school Escalade in that video where they're riding. 80 Satoshis. 1 minute here. 1 minute. Let's see how we close. Gonna hold this 30 level. Three, two, one. Opening up with a bottom wick here. We don't want a top wick, because once we grab oil, this is the top wick we want to head towards, right? Off the bottom wick, because whatever it rejects here, we don't know if that's enough to bring us down to break the lows, right? So in these cases, I usually wait for that bottom wick to be made, and then I'll look for the re-break of the high here. But now that we've grabbed the top wick, it becomes a little more difficult to take that limit off of here. My trade is to that top wick level, basically. Right, the partials run to this level right here, 4303.6, and we've just tapped it. So no limits here now off that. My candles have a dot inside, and no, that's not an indicator. That's just if I click on it. It just, I don't know why it does. I don't even know what it means. Yeah, I don't know what that means. The yellow line you're buy, no, that's a level from at which I would be locked in on a position, but it doesn't mean that it's a buy. It's a level where I start locking in on positions. That's to change the color of the candles. That's funny. I've never realized that. What? How? What does it do? Oh, okay. Okay. Right click. Yeah, I mean, it could do that anyway, right? Right click, settings. Which application to copy trade between funded accounts? Well, on Top One Futures, they have an installed copy trader. There's a copy trader in it. If you're looking to just copy between regular accounts, for MT5, I use social trader tools because I got I have family accounts, right? I have uncles and brothers and some family accounts that are connected to my live account, and to copy trade those, I use social trader tools. Yeah. This is this right here. Gold keeps selling back off. Gold, no, gold doesn't do anything. It's been buying up. It's maybe a small sell-off for a short time, what, like 100 pips? That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Tiny pullback for gold. It's bullish. Replicanto for copy trades? Oh, I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. There's many different platforms you can use. Tell you this much, if we can break the lows, come down to support, I'll probably set a buy limit on the break of the highs. We got some room here. We just need to break the lows on this candle. We cannot have that as a bottom wick. I need to come down maybe 3,000 levels. I mean 300 levels, 4,300. Doesn't look like we're getting it. Look like it's re-breaking highs. Top one has issues with payment. Is Top one good firm to trade with? They don't have issues with payment. No issues. Even when you double click on bars with no dot, it shows color settings. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. Thanks a ton. The current layout is from instant funded only. This is the instant funded. Oh. $35 pips off NQ. I wonder if we got there. Hey gang, please drop a like and sub to the channel if you're new here, or if you've been here and you're not a sub yet, and please share the stream. Please, I need your help. Give you the dubs. You guys show up, like and share. Oh, and sub. I want to see how many subs we got. We are at ooh, we've hit 28K. Thank you, gang. Appreciate it. 28.1 next stop. Appreciate that. Thank you. What time of day usually get on? Usually it's 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Usually. New to trading, 16 years old. Any advice? Take your time, Brody. Take your time. You got a lot of time. Man, by the time you're able to do this legally, you're going to be way ahead of the game. You're going to be way ahead of everyone that's your age or in your sphere of influence. Should be 100K by end of the year. Best group ever. Yeah, it won't be. I think at this rate of growth, we'll be at 100K maybe like not next summer, but like the following. Donna Crope, thank you, Wix. You're the best. Appreciate that. Don't let the haters change your mind. Yeah, he's going to be very well ahead. Starting here at 16. Just keep showing up. It's really your dedication. It's good for you because you don't have to focus on anything yet, right? You don't have to focus on work, maybe school, but you don't have to focus on girls. They'll come on its own, right? Do the things that are difficult as you get older, right? Making money gets tougher as you get older, right? Your earnings potential decreases as you get older. So really milk your earnings potential right now because everything else can be gotten at a later stage in life. Everything. Vacations, the cars, the houses, the women, everything can be gotten at a later stage in life. The money is what gets harder to make as you get older, right? So maximize your earning potential because everything else doesn't get harder to get. The money does. Younger life, you have infinite amount of chances to fail and still have the support of your family. In general, yeah. Fail as often as possible, as soon as possible. Thank you, Texas. Thanks you, Texas boy 255. Appreciate that. New sub. W. We long education. No, we don't long here. We were looking for this bottom wick come down to here to long, and we had buys here off this wick that we secured some profits off of earlier. Those were the only two possible positions we could have had here today. First one we got, second one didn't quite get there for an entry. And now we have to wait. And if you see us coming up here, that is the rebreak of the daily high. That is the reflip of the 4 hour, right? As we're coming up here. So it doesn't necessarily owe you this reaction now at this point. When you created this resistance, you created a support, you're going to retest that resistance. Very good sell limit. Very good area for a sell limit, right? Same thing, you've created the support. When you come back and retest it, very good area for a buy limit. Now that you've done all of that, you're waiting for the market to break through. I don't mind if it breaks through and then closes back in range, and then we could look to trade the range again. But for now, we want to get out of this range now, right? We want to get the hell out of here. Maybe we could tap these 15 areas, right? If we're able to close here and then break the highs here, tap these areas and come back down, which would flip the 4 hour, break the 4 hour highs, but not drive. Not drive, still respect this area and come back down. It would be lovely, but we have only 45 minutes to do that before the 4 hour closes. The way it looks like right now, we might get a seller replay right off the 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour levels here to the left. Oh no, you're right at resistance. No. Seller. Crash that. Create family as soon as you can. You can always make money. I will concede the point that it's if you're planning on having kids, right, you don't want to have them at like 40 or 50, right? You still want to be young when your kids are growing up so you could put time into that. But I believe money is the thing that really gets difficult as you get older, right? Having it will free up all your time to not just have a family and think about having a family, but it'll free up so much thought process in your head once the money's not a worry that you can have a good family. that you can have a family that you want the way you want, that you can raise the kids the way you feel they need to be raised, not just having them for the sake of having them. I had my first at 22, happy married, wife, and 5 children. So I had my first kid at 28. 28. You turned 32 in November? Wow. So 10 years, 5 kids. Yeah, for me, it was 12 years, 3 daughters. My 11-year-old trades better than me. I know I'm very good. You, my friend, are a rare breed. Father to multiple children that's there for them and that believes he's blessed. And you're a girl dad. But you, my friend, are a rare breed.
You know how I feel about that. Men should not be having kids before they're 30, 31, 32, unless they've made the money and set up their life, because they need that to support their family. It's very rare.
They need that to feel like a man in family life. You just
They
don't.
have to be
You feel less of a man. You feel less of yourself
Yeah,
when you can't do those things.
because man should do everything in his power in his 20s to make all the money that he can, so that when he's in his 30s, has the money to support the family and be able to live the life that he needs to. Then he can have as many kids as he wants, because men don't have a time limit like women do. Women have the time limit. That's why women need to have kids much younger than men.
You also have that vision for your family, how you set it up, and the only one that's able to really impact that vision is you.
Yeah, I mean, biology, God made women as they are in the way they were made, so they have a finite amount of time to be able to have a family. So it's better for them to have a family first and then have a career after if they want to, but also to be able to find the best man possible in order to allow them to be able to stay at home if they want to and have a career after that if they want to as well. Like, you know, that's the best option. So, but for men, it's very rare that a man in his 20s will succeed and not be struggling and working like a psycho all the time and not being able to see the family, especially having 4 to 5 kids. It's not something that's recommended.
It is difficult, and the thing is that it's a difficulty that a huge portion of the world goes through.
Yeah, and that's not right. They shouldn't.
It's not right, exactly, and it's not right.
Yeah, they shouldn't have to do that. They get stuck with their girlfriends from high school or the ones that they find in university, and it's not the smart decision. You know, they have to find a way to work on themselves, create their career, their success, finish their schooling, make their money, whatever it is that they want to do. But once they are hitting 30s, that's when they should have had made their money. Hopefully they've had the success, had the mentors, do what they needed to do, then be able to find the woman that they want at that point in time, and then start a family. That's the best way to do it. That's how it works. And that's, obviously there are exceptions, but I'm saying the majority of the time, that's what makes a successful family, because most women today are not traditional. They want the man to be traditional, but they won't be traditional. So, and also for the man, he needs to find somebody younger in order for them to actually have a family. You know, women who think that they're gonna have kids when they're 35 or 40 and find the best man, unfortunately, that's not the reality of how life is. So men have their duty, their burden, as women do. And that's just the way it is. So it works the way that it works and has worked for centuries. People are trying to change it today, and look what's happening. Most first world countries don't have any more babies. The birth rate has declined so much that the death rate has gone way beyond it. And a lot of countries are now facing annihilation, right? So what they're doing is they're inviting the third world country, all from Africa, all the blacks, all the Muslims, all those people there, to bring them into their country and repopulate their country because they have nobody.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Yeah, and that's the issue. So it's unfortunate, but that's what happened, right? So feminism caused women to want to have their career and think about having kids when they're 35 or 40. Most men don't want an older woman. They want a younger woman because they are more fertile. They can have babies, right? And anybody who says anything different, good luck. Wishing you all the best. Just talking about how life is, logic and biology. So, that's how I see it. And that's how I will teach my daughter and any of my children. And I stick around with people that I know that are thinking the same way because it makes sense. I want the world to keep making sense and not to be in the way that it is today, unfortunately. So, I'm going to look on having, 4 to 5 kids as well, so I can help the actual world change and progress in the better way and make the world strong again, not weak as it is now.
All right, kids. You're going to be president. You're going to be secretary of the Fed. You're going to run the Department of War. And all 3 of you are going to report to me. Just start raising them for that. We're gonna farm kids.
You want to give kids the best chance, right, in this world. You can't tell your daughter, have a career and do everything you want to do, and by 35 you'll find a man randomly who'll come and save you, and then you'll have a family. That's not right. Her eggs are most fertile when she is younger. So 18, 19, 20 is the best time for her to start looking for the right guy. But you have to teach her how to find that man. Teach her how to not be a whore and, go on OnlyFans and have kids with random guys left and right.
Oh, I told my kids, like, all those men, you know where they are? They're in an all-women's monastery somewhere in Tibet. We're going to have to take you there. Taking you deep into the mountains, to the highest window, the highest room, or the highest castle. You're gonna be a nun. You're gonna be a nun. All 3. Matter of fact, you're gonna start your own fucking convent. Be little fucking fold out those trifold brochures. Be leaving that under the pillow. Every time the tooth fairy needs to show up, they lose a tooth. Next morning, there's a fucking brochure there instead of money.
And
become a nun.
You got 3 out of 3, all girls. So you got to be really on top of it, like a strong father. Make sure that, you raise them the right way to understand men's struggles and how life is, and that they are not princesses, that nobody's going to come and save them, that they're not going to have to believe in the world or whatever it is, that things are going to happen just because they're going to believe it, or whatever the word that they like to use these days is manifest, or whatever crap that they talk about. You have to make things happen. Men have to work at it.
Whoa, bro. We cannot have you be so misogynistic, you womanizer. All right? We do not manifest, we womanifest or person fest. No manifest, we person fest.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot have you be,
Sure.
Be discriminate to women here, bro. And
Oh, man.
next time you drive over a manhole cover on the street, that's a person hole or a woman hole, right? That's not a manhole cover.
Right.
Person hole.
Right, sounds good. Sure.
Misogynist.
Yeah, Myron Gaines is spelled with an E in between the N and the S, but yes, correct. That's just the right way of thinking. We got to bring the world back to the way it used to be, because men are very weak today, and they've allowed the world to change in a very, very bad way. We can see it in a lot of countries. England, France, Germany, these are all failed countries. Canada, all failed countries, getting completely annihilated and destroyed. And people who speak like I speak,
there go all my
getting
international
arrested.
viewers.
Yeah, they're getting arrested. They're getting put in jail because we don't adhere to somebody's pronouns when they're a child, or allow a boy to have his cut off, just because he thinks he's a girl. No, man, sorry, but logic is logic, and that's just the way it works. And my girl doesn't work. She has a business that I've set up for her, but she works at it 1 hour a month or something, and I help her with it. But she's happy being a at home mom and takes care of the house. and she's never felt happier. And I've never stopped her from being able to work if she wants to, but she wants to take care of the house and the family, and I take care of the bills. But that's just what works, right? It's a choice that's made that makes sense. And women don't want to go and have a job and get yelled at and then come back and have to take care of their men and have to do all that shit. Like men don't want to go to work and come back and get nagged by their women, right? Everybody has their job to do. And feminism has screwed women up to make them think that they should be like men. So they became the men that they were looking for because those men no longer exist. So I have to teach my daughter, my newborn daughter, when she grows up, how to be a woman, how to be a wife, and teach her all that. Like when I have boys, I will teach them how to be men and how to find the right women. Like I'll have to teach my daughter how to find the right men too, right? It's natural, it's normal. You know, you don't want your children to struggle and have problems in life. Yeah, feminism is a mental disease, 100%.
Do not let him talk so shitty, conservative, and far right thing. Man, I will fight for your right to say whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? As long as you're not like straight on offending or like just trying to annihilate an entire fucking group of people, right? And you're not being. If we're having an intellectually honest conversation, I'm okay with everybody's opinion. You want to bring liberal views on here? If you're on here and you're talking, if you're in the Zoom and you got something to say and you're bringing an intellectually honest conversation with just an opposite viewpoint, I'm all for it, right? Right? You can't say don't let him talk, because I will forever fight for your freedom to say, even if it's things that I don't like. If you were saying things that I don't like, I might not agree with what you're saying, but I'll forever fight for your freedom to say that.
That is the First Amendment that has completely disappeared, unfortunately. And I respect you 100% on that part. And I agree 100%. 100%. I agree with that. You can't say you want to kill an entire race or something like that and, you know, want to cause a riot, but you have the right to free speech, to say what you believe and how things are in your mind. And I also have the right to, I should also have that at that point, sorry, the right to let others feel and say what they want to say as well. We can diverge on the way that we think, and we can agree on things and disagree on things. But what ends up happening in the end is what I believe is what will work for my children. So I will raise my children my way and not let teachers tell them how to be raised or infect their mind and that they want to think, right? So that's how I think. And I'm going to let somebody else say the things that they want to say themselves as well. So this is what
How did he offend women? Didn't you guys hear? He said to manifest instead of person fest or women fest. He said manifest. He did not mean to be offensive.
I don't care about offending people, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, I know, but I care about offending people. It's my stream. That's why I say you can bring an intellectually honest conversation. That's why I'm always fine with like a lot of like most of the shit you say. Like sometimes you can go off the rails, but most of the shit you say I'm fine with, because we're being intellectually honest, right? We're talking about the way the world is, and like if people can have different opinions, and I'm all for it. I'm sure there's people on the Zoom here that feel in certain aspects differently. They might not voice it, but if they want to, like, I'm okay with having that conversation. Exactly. They can. And I don't mind it. I don't mind you voicing liberal or conservative views as long as it's a conversation.
Well, it
right?
is.
I'd rather have a conversation than a Charlie Kirk shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather have a conversation.
We're talking about this right now because there's nothing to do in the trading, by the way. So just, you know, it's something that we can talk about as well.
Stick to your beliefs. Let's concentrate on trading. Yeah, I'm fine with concentrating on trading if you guys have trading questions. But I'm honestly like, there's nothing going on here. We're ranging. And I think it's doing you a good service by concentrating on something else instead of keeping your impulses locked in on this. Right? Just take a break. Sometimes honestly, if nothing's sprinting, I'll walk away, and if I wasn't streaming, I'd probably be outside smoking right now, waiting for this closure, right? Then I'd come back for the closure to see how we close. Nothing yet. I'd probably go outside for the next 15 minutes and just, relax if I wasn't streaming. Why are people so pressed? Yeah, I mean, relax. Enjoy the stream. If you like the conversation. If you don't enjoy the conversation, if you want to hear something else, or you think we can dedicate our time to something else, just please, come up. ask questions, topics, anything. It's a free for all here. Let's just have an intellectually honest conversation and bring value to the table. Yeah, right. We just, if there's a breakdown, there's a breakdown. I spoke about things earlier in the stream, what we want to see. We have not seen them yet since the very beginning of the stream where I got the dub, and then until then, it's just it's just a vibe. We're vibing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it's been since you've put the intro, but if you guys have ever heard the actual intro to his streams, it talks about trading, talks about a lot of stuff. We're a community here. So there's a lot of things that we can discuss. And if you guys don't like it, you could obviously also mute.
If you guys don't like it, you can also mute. Yeah, you show up and just mute.
Yeah, and then look at the position once he takes it and then get a W that way. But,
First time tuning in. How long you been trading? Been trading on streams here for about half a decade, overall since 2018. And honestly, we're just stuck in a range. We had a position, or we made some money for the Asian session, right? It's not like I'm done for Asian session, but I'm not seeing anything that has my edge attached to it. Market's not printing my edge, and until it prints my edge, you can relax and sit back, relax, and take notes as I take tokes of this marijuana smoke. How old are you? What's your earliest memory? I am 40, and my earliest memory was it was all dark, and I can't go there on YouTube. I cannot go there on YouTube. I'd say, damn, if you think the shit I say is fucked up, imagine the shit I almost say. Yeah, probably childhood memory would be around 3 years old, learning how to ride a bike. I would say that would be probably my earliest childhood memory. Yeah. Why do you trade futures, not Forex, CFD, for example? And we don't trade spot price gold because this is regulated. It's centralized, it's regulated, and the UE and the UI is much better. I think that's the simplest terms. But the user interface, the experience, the overall experience, right? The user experience here is much better on the future side. It's the same buy and sell buttons, but the mechanisms are a bit different. And if you figure them out and you learn them, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's so, like I said, it's also centralized, so there's no manipulation from broker to broker. Everybody gets one price from one feed, from one exchange, with the same spread, with the same whatchamacallit, not the same commissions, but same leverage. It's the same for everybody across the board. It doesn't change from broker to broker, where there's manipulation on the CFD side and on the spot gold side. Why are these people so uptight? They're not uptight. Everybody comes in at it. You got to understand, people have gone through different things throughout the day. Some people are like, there are times for people where they're like, yeah, I'm down to hear this, right? There's a time for you to listen to a Joe Rogan podcast. There's a time for you to listen to a fucking Beethoven song. And then there's a time for you to listen to Pop Smoke, right? Like you just have your waves and, things you go through throughout the day. Sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. Depends at what time in their life people walked in on in here. You look very young for your age, Wix. I thought you were in your early 30s. I'm 40 years old. I asked my kids, I was like, don't I look young? Don't you like it when I get a haircut and a shave and people at the store ask me if I'm your older brother? They're like, no, you look old. I'm like, how do I look old? They're like, you have wrinkles. And they point at my eyes. It makes me feel so much better. People told me too that was not real markets, as manipulated by love, but love the, what do you mean, top step, you're saying? And Top One Futures here. Go to Top One Futures, use code WIGS, get a discount, get an instant funded account, and come trade with us, and you won't have an issue. Plenty of people use Top Step. Yep. How's the daughter's toothache? Is she better? Yeah. Yeah, he is better too. What's up? Hold on a second, chat. Wifey just got home. Much love. Later, Sam. Have a good night. Appreciate you showing up always. I'm not dipping yet. No, we're still trading. How's the Dota toothache? We just went over that. Y'all think NQ will make the gap fill? I didn't see what the NQ chart looks like right now. I haven't seen it in a long time. When's the last time you had an indicator on your chart? 2019. Legend. By the way, super teak in your group signal. Yes. You said you weren't showing up today, didn't you? Or like you're at the gym, yeah. Using the EYES indicator, yes, the only indicator we use. Well, that, believe it or not, these candles here, this is an indicator of where price is, right? Because technically we just get a ticker, right, where price is. But these candles, these Japanese candles themselves, right? This is an indicator because you could be looking at it like this. You can be looking at it, you know, hollow candles, or you can be looking at it like this, right? And so this is, I guess, the only indicator we use, the candles themselves. But we do not use any RSIs or MACDs, or Bollinger Bands or Ichimoku clouds or Fibonacci's or moving averages. It's all lagging. You want to use this as a confirmation, as an extra confluence, you can go for it. You just don't need it. I used to think I was the coolest motherfucker on earth when I would have that chart, like with 1,000 indicators. It looks like I'm doing rocket science. And then I would go somewhere like, right, and open it up. And anyone that sees it, they would be like, holy shit. And you understand all of this? And I'd be like, yeah. Can't you see? Once this line crosses this line, and then we get to the 61.8, and then there's an expansion right here. And then you see this wave on the bottom. It's going to go the opposite way from this wave. You know what we're going to do? We're going to yell, fuck, because we just missed the damn trade. Because they're lagging indicators. You understand what happens after it happened.
I almost bought a mouse pad with so many indicators. Like there were like 20 of them, massive mouse pad. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, holy shit, I would have never done it, never looked at it. And I was going to use it. I swear to God, I was going to buy it. It was online and everything. It was like, you know, when we started, all the indicators and everything, instead of having the papers on the wall, it's like, yeah, let me have it on the mouse pad, all printed nice and everything. Thank God I never bought it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, there's people that are profitable with it. Don't get me wrong. People have figured out strategies where they just like, they use them but like, you don't, it's up to you how difficult or how simple you want to make this, because it's not easy. It's already difficult, right? It's already hard. So it's up to you how much more difficult or how much simpler you want to, you want your approach to be here. And if I'm telling you right now, I do it every day. You don't fucking need all of that. You need time on the charts, which means the only knowledge you need here is the one that's guided by experience. What's good about me and other streamers on YouTube right now, the streaming game has gotten much better in terms of trading. The traders that do stream and get an audience right now are probably profitable, right? From the ones that we know that are streaming price action, right? They're profitable. So when they're streaming and they're teaching, like there's just do your due diligence. There's a lot of info out there nowadays. Like it shouldn't take you 4 or 5 years to get to where you want to go, because all the information is out there and you don't need to pay for any of it. And it should take you literally maybe a year or two to just, you know, do your own thing and know everything and be profitable. But it really depends on you, how much simpler or more difficult you want to make this on yourself. Every single one of you can do this. Every single one of you has it in them. Like, that mechanism is built inside you to be able to decipher this. But you have to put in the time. You have to prioritize this. You can't be here during peak volume trying to figure out how the candles move, because, right, you spend enough time. If you spend a 4-year college degree's worth of time, like 10,000 hours or 4,000 hours, right, on the charts, right? I've probably tripled that, quadrupled that. But if you spend that much time on the chart, you're going to, over time, look, your job is to figure out how the 8 a.m. and the 9 a.m. candle move, and how the 8 p.m. and the 9 p.m. candle move. These two candles. Your job is really to figure out the relationship between these two candles. And if you show up here 1,000 times, there's only so many different ways these two candles can close and open and interact with each other. This is all you need. This is our entire session, 8 to 10 p.m. These 2 hours, right? We got to buy down here, but you have to understand how they move, how they interact with each other, with the levels, with the timing that you're here, and you have to know how to read them, which is knowing what they mean. Closures, wicks, breaks of highs and lows, right? Rebreaks of highs and lows of the current candle, no wicks. You have to understand and read that candle. You know, closures, are we outside the range? Are we back in the range? Did we fake out? Did we, you know, big breakout? Like, you have to understand what's happening and then utilize that knowledge to build a narrative, right? Most people can really learn all of this, and then the waiting game gets them, right? The patience game gets them, and everything goes out the window because you forget this little part, you forget that little aspect of a trade, right? You forget that you shouldn't be in a buy here. Look, the market came up, but you shouldn't be in a buy here because of that closure with no wick, right? So you forget these little things and you start bringing back the negative impulses or the bad habits, and they might work, and you'll be like, right, now it's a confirmation that this works. No, and then the other 80% of the time you'll get smacked. You need that experience. You need to be on the charts. Besides being on YouTube with Don, what gave you the confidence to be on camera in front of so many people? I think being with Don gave, like, I love Don, but I think I was a good orator and speaker way before that in terms of public speaking. And I think me being on his stream kind of also helped him out be a better orator. I don't know if he's here or not, Don, I love you, bro, but let me know. Let me know if me being on your streams helped you out as well. Because I was pretty good in terms of public speaking. Being with Don on streams made me a better trader. That's what it did. It didn't make me a better speaker. It made me a better trader. Having Don in my sphere of influence made me a better trader. I paid a few hundred for indicators before, and every one of them was a waste of money. Indicators is a waste of money. Don is his boy. Yeah, that's the homie. I spoke to him like a week ago. Somebody that used to trade spot gold 40s, you don't need any of that. Once I changed to futures, all that went out the window. You didn't even need that on spot. Right? Remember, gang, but there's many rules of thumbs that I could teach you, but you got to know when to apply them, right? You have to understand the concepts. And the best way for you to understand them and see them in action. How do you see them in action? Well, the benefit for you guys have me that you can show up, and I can tell you where to look, where to lock in, right? Where the opportunity is, right? Because right now you show up to the charts, holy shit, you're seeing a lot of lines printed on screen. Where do I lock in? What level, right? We just show up here, right? And like, well, what do I lock in on? What matters? What doesn't matter? We'll teach you where to lock in on and what matters, right? Over time, you'll understand how candles close. You keep showing up, you see every kind of closure, you see every kind of opening, and you're like, all right, I've seen this does that does this. No matter what name we give a play or a setup or an onion or a celery or a pancake, you got to see the concept at play to memorize it, right? To know that it works. If you see it play out in front of you and you see that it works, that's what's going to teach you. That's why you need to show up to the charts and trade. Even the days you're not going to trade in your paper trading, you need to show up to the charts just to see how candles print and interact with each other. Really show up, not show up, sit in front of the charts, but pay attention to something else, right? Like a Trump speech or a Fortnite game that you're playing. Pay attention to the actual candles printing and closing, and paper trade in your head, mark it up on the screen, but you need to see concepts play out on the charts in order for it to validate your opinion and follow it, and for you to remember it, and for you to have confidence in the trade without inviting any negative impulses that could sabotage that trade, right? You have to see them play out. So I can show you, right? I'm not a guru. I'm not going to teach you trading, but I can guide you to where you need to go in that trajectory. And then it's up to you to just get there, right? We can turn you in the right direction, right? Turn you in the right direction. Turn around, man. We can face you in the right direction, and it's up to you to walk there, right? If you're thirsty, I can't drink water for you, but I can tell you where there's a damn well. So I'll teach you where to lock in. It's up to you to have the experience, enough experience on the charts, right? To understand the concepts, utilize the concepts, and then optimize them to where they suit your style, your type of trading, your schedule, your relationship with money, your tolerance for risk. We can go through the same lessons, start at the same time, watch the same market, same charts, but because of our experiences throughout life, our childhoods, the way we were raised, our parents, everyone that's influenced us, we will have a different comfort level about placing trades on different points in the charts. So I say, learn as much as you can in terms of price action and charts and technical analysis, because you're not going to need, like I said, a setup. You're going to be able to build a narrative, as I always say, right? You learn how to trade this part of the chart. You learn how to trade this part of the chart. Some point you learn how to trade this part of the chart. Some point you learn how to trade this part of the chart. Some point you learn how to trade this. Then you know how to take trades here. And then guess what? Are you looking for a position? No, everything is a position. You know how to trade every part of the chart. And then it's just up to you, your comfort levels, where we're all unique. It's going to get really unique for you. You're now able to read the story, know where the market's going to go here, know where it's going to go here, know where it's going to go here. You're going to say to yourself, this is the part I'm going to take advantage of. And while you see me, while Wix takes advantage of something here, fucking Eddie takes advantage of something here. We have the same knowledge. We have the same understanding. We have the same look on the chart. We probably have the same levels drawn. But it's your own uniqueness, your own relationship with money, or your own risk tolerance, and your own comfort levels based on what you've seen, not what somebody told you, that's going to give you the confidence to enter either here or here or here or here. But if you learn to read all of it, you will be ahead in all of it, right? Are you coming up in a position? No, we're waiting for this. No, we're waiting for everything is a position, right? You can kind of tell where everything is going. The key now is your comfort levels, and where do you want to be in your risk tolerance. People still employed and working? Yep, JOB funding. There are some people that have been here for years, right? And they pretty much know what I do or how I do or what I'm locked in on. And every time there's something new or a new concept I bring to the table, I really go in depth on it. There's no gatekeeping. There's nothing like that. I really go in depth. And some of you guys take the things I say and you run with it and you do better than me, right? And that's just the nature of life. Like, some people understand some concepts better than others, better than other concepts. And it's just like some things like you see me doing, you were already doing something that's similar to that, and you make so small adjustments and it takes you where you need to go. And it's like, great. We can all eat. We should all eat. As I always say, right? We don't all have to eat at the same table, but we can all eat. And your job here, when you show up to trading, right? When you figure this out, your only job in life is to get as far away from poverty as possible, right? In terms of self-success. Like, make the separation between you and poverty so big that it cannot be made back, that it can't catch up to you. Last month had me looking at my coworkers and managers crazy. Yeah, because you have confidence, right? You have confidence in every step. You walk out the door, you walk into the office. You're a different man, bro. You're not looking for their approval. You know who you are, right? Success does that to you. Money does that to you. It tells you who you are. And some people just get overwhelmed or take it to the head so much that they take it too far, right? They start thinking who they are instead of walking the path. Walk into the same restaurant with the same people, driving the same car, but there's a bit of a difference when you're walking in there knowing what you got behind you, or knowing that there's nothing, that's the whole shell, that's everything you just walked in on, that's you. You've just presented everything, there's nothing else. Or knowing that there's a mountain behind you. Big difference in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way every word comes out, your demeanor. You'll say the same thing, but you'll say it differently. You'll order the same food, but you'll order it differently. The waiter will understand you differently. You know why? Because you've just freed up all that time in your head that you were spent thinking about money to now thinking about, what do I do? Do this, I could do that. I'm the man when I walk in here. They need my money. Like, I'm gonna plan as I'm walking. I'm not planning on, damn, I gotta be at work tomorrow, or like how much money I'm gonna spend tonight. Now your brain is focused on like, damn, I'm gonna eat this. What else can I eat? I'm gonna order this shit with some confidence because that's what I want. So I feel you, Bougie. That's why I had you look. I can understand the psyche, right? Payout hit the account today and left work early. Didn't explain shit. Yeah. That's that freedom. That's the freedom everyone talks about that trading gives you. Not like, oh, I want the freedom to, like, you know, now I don't have to go and make money. I'm free to go buy, you know, jet skis or a boat or a car. That's not the freedom. You want to trade away from another payout? I think I am too. No, I took this on the other account. So on here, I think I'm like 2 trades away. We got 9 minutes here. Let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is going to close bearish here. Hourly is going to close very indecisive if it stays like this. This chop is not pretty. So like I said, we create a resistance. Gold is a very technical pair, right? We create a resistance, we create a support. We usually retest the level that, you know, we create a high, we create a support. We'll retest the high, right? Gold is very technical and very good at filling ranges. Creates a support and resistance, it fills the range. That's what it's very good at. We understand that. It created a support here, created a resistance, it filled the range down, right? To the resistance, right? Held the support. It confirmed that this is a support by not breaking it, holding it, and then we came up here, we retested this area. Now we got a closure below it. We confirm it's a resistance, and we're looking to head down, right? The market did. We faked out here. We didn't really get the entry we wanted, right? We expected a buy on this candle off a bottom wick off here. We wanted a buy limit, didn't come down first, came up first, ate away our range, but we still expected the market to come up here to that very next resistance area. You see it up here to the left, right? 15 is very choppy here. Very choppy, right? And when it's chopped, right? When things are choppy, when in doubt, zoom out. So go to the higher time frame. If the smaller time frames are too choppy, the higher time frames will tell you the story. When in doubt, zoom out. And you can see the story here much better on the higher time frame, right? The 30 and the 1 hour. The 1 hour is giving you the overall range. The 30 is giving you the range within the range. But you're starting to see that this is a chop, right? As you go down the time frames. And what you really want is now to trade in the direction of the 4 hour once you're outside the range. Chart is for gold futures. Yep, this is a gold futures contract. Might leave work early tomorrow, take myself out to dinner. Incredible. He's in a place, man, usually buy something else, but I'm not snitching. Okay. A little funky here. Here's the deal. We can come down on the next 4 hours possible. What's funky is, look, we have a level here. Runs across. Right, this is the 4 hour levels. Let me show you. We have a level here. So how do you build the narrative here? Stuck within this range. Now you have this 1 hour. 4 hour, 1 hour. You're saying to yourself the 4 hours close bearish, right? But this is the overall 4 hour range. So yes, we can get down to the 4 hour levels if we're in the higher time frame 4 hour range. That means we've just bounced off resistance. This is an hourly support. If we can get the 4 hour to get to that level, which means the hourly would do this. We now get to this level. Right? Do this. What happens? The hourly fakes out. We're back in that 1 hour range. At this point, the 4 hour is starting to flip back into this range, right? And if the 4 hour high is here, right? Next candle comes down, small wick. As we start grabbing orders here, we can look for two positions. The breaks of the high here and whatever support is established here. Because on a smaller time frame, if you understand how to read candles backwards, on the smaller time frame, this right here, right? That wick is just doing this on the 15. Oh, whoops. Right? 15. How does this candle print? How does this candle print here? As this candle is coming up, you're probably getting after that a bullish candle. Even if you don't, you could get 3 bearish candles, doesn't matter. But this is how your 1 hour is going to work, right? You're going to come down here. Right? This is going to be that wick that's made. I'm sorry, this is what we're going to look like. There's one ugly candle I just drew. That's going to be your 15. 15 itself is going to fake out. Now you have the next candle. You see how it's creating the same thing the higher time frames did. Smaller time frame is going to do that. And you're going to see now the smaller time frame is going to flow back into that higher time frame to tell the same narrative. The 15's faked out. The hourly's faked out. This bottom wick is giving us on itself a 15 fake out. And you could start looking at entries, right, as you're coming down on this bottom wick, because that's just the anatomy of that hourly candle, these 415s, right? You have to understand how candles are formed at different levels. Like an hourly candle here in this area. Sorry. An hourly candle in this area will form completely different than an hourly candle in this area. And you have to go through all that. You have to see those candles form on a smaller time frames to see how they behave. This is where you're taking that bottom wick entry. That's a 15 support, 15 faking out. And it's also, right, the hourly support. And it's also the 4 hour support down here that you've tapped. And it's also the hourly fake out. So as you're seeing all of that, and as you plan for all of this right now, right, to come down here, tap the 4 hour level, maybe the 30 does that, maybe which would make your life even better. Let's go through another one, right? You hold here on the hourly, right? You hold this level, next 30 breaks down. You hold the hourly, right? The 30 breaks down. And comes back up. Now you have a 30 fake out. You get a closure on the hourly. Now this is also your closure on this hourly. This is the same, these two candles is this 1 hour candle, right? Now you have a fake out on the 30. You have a closure respecting support on the hourly right here. And you have a wick that's driving off a 4 hour level. Any kind of break of the highs here takes you up to the next resistance. You didn't have a setup. You've just built a narrative of what the market should do based on technical analysis, right? Study of historical price data, these levels, and based on our experience, right? Our knowledge that's guided by experience. We understand that when candles fake out and when the hourly comes back in range and it's 4 hour level, you understand how it's going to perform. You understand how it's going to act, how it's going to react, because you've seen it before. I've seen it before. You can take my word for it. I'm just telling you how it happens, right? There's a reason we take all these wins, because we've seen it all. We've seen it all, been through it all, like mob deep. We're a deep mob. Right, but right now, look at this hourly. The hourly's closed. The 30's faked out back into this minor range. So you're probably looking this, right? You have the new level, and any break of the lows takes you down here. Steep wick. I would not trade it here because you would sell right into a support. I'll be honest with you. If you don't get a bottom wick here right now in this candle, as you drive up here, we can have some sells. There's possible sell limits off the hourly. I just got to see if the stops would make sense. Yeah, the 4 hour is the only thing that makes sense here right now. I think this flips and maybe eventually we come back up to these levels. Let's see. All right, hold on. Let's. I'm sorry, Chad. I've kind of completely ignored you. Let's go back, Chad. What's Chad saying? Really enjoy listening to your thoughts, Wix. Really opened my eyes. Some strategies, better understanding of the market structure. Yes, that's right. Here, people pay 1,000 for course that Wix just drew us first in 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, the goal is really not to gatekeep anything. The goal is for you guys to see things and be an active member of the community or active part of the community. So I want to hear your voices, right? I want to hear what you guys see, but like bring your experience, but like legitimate, not like if you're new here and you're telling everybody this is what it's going to do. No, like if you've seen things, hey, I've seen this, do that based on this. I've sample sized it. Like let's utilize it. Let's optimize it. Let's work on this. Let's make it better. Hey, I appreciate you guys getting me to 28K subs, though. It's really been the Asian session that's got us there. New York's kind of slacking, and thus I'm slacking for New York. But thank you guys getting us to 28K. Let's see where we can ride this wave to 29 and 30 and maybe 50, so we could do a 24-hour stream. Right? We'll do a 24-hour stream at 50K subs. It's going to take some work to get there. I need your help. And like I said, I'm going to keep showing up, keep providing dubs, keep writing out these Wix 9 stimulus checks as long as you guys keep showing up and listening and giving value and credence to what I say. Difference between bias and narrative. Okay, so your bias is where you're looking for the market to head. The narrative you're building is basically reading the story here. And while you can be bullish, right? Your bias is bullish on the daily. The current narrative tells me that I can take a trade at resistance here for a sell. I can probably take a buy once we fake out here. But I'll build a narrative step by step, candle by candle, word by word. And then I know what's happening in this chapter of my bias, of my bullish bias, right? So your bias is basically a book and your narrative is chapter by chapter storytelling that you can utilize to understand that, yeah, we're headed up eventually, but I can take sells here. I can take advantage of this part. I can take advantage of this part. I can take advantage here. Where do I want to attack? Building a narrative and trying to figure out the best place to attack. And the way I do it in my head, I'm printing candles in my head like 4 or 5 candles ahead to see what can happen. And if they play out the way I print them or the way I see them printing, right? I always say, like, if you get A and then you get B and you get C, you get because, like, yeah, it's usually, you know, there's a workflow to things, right? And if one happens, the next one happens. Typically, that third thing that follows will usually happen. And then, like, if I drew it all out in my head and it's all happening on the charts, I know exactly what's going to happen next and what I'm going to take advantage of. Good day. Good day. Good day. Somebody showed up right now. The fucking chart looks like fucking. What's with the boxes, Wix? Trying to tell you, you don't have to be in the box. The box could be anywhere. You just have. You could be outside the box, inside the box, halfway the box. You can cut the box open. You can unbox it. Right? You can do whatever you want, but you don't have to stay within this little box. Everything is tradable. Everything is a position. What do you say, buy or sell? Their third option? There should be buy, sell, or wait. Buy, sell, wait. Buy, sell, wait. Think outside the box. Yeah, don't box yourself into a strategy or a setup or a position. Think big. I have a thought on the chart, bro. Can I share? Of course, yeah. Share them thoughts. Share your thoughts. Now we have a 15-minute. Whoa, you've lost me, bro. You've lost me there. I need somebody dial 911. Saw FEG and stopped reading? No, I stopped reading at the church. Now we have a 15-minute. Oh, you lost me there. I didn't even get to that. I didn't even know there was an FEG in there. That's crazy. How did you get to FEG? I stopped reading at the church. Why do you merge candles in your head? You can play with time frames. What do you mean I merge candles in my head? No, I said I draw candles in my head like 4 or 5 candles ahead to see what could possibly play out. I don't merge candles. I don't even know what that means, right? I understand what an hourly candle can look like, and I understand the 4 15-minute candles that make it up, and I understand the 3 5-minute candles that make up each one of those 15s, and the 2 30s that make up the hourly. I understand how they print and interact with each other. It's a very good thing that it'd be a very good thing if you learned and understood how to read candles backwards. Right. Yeah, I just don't understand what a choach and FVG. I don't understand those concepts. I've never, like, you guys have explained to me 100 times what those things mean, and I can't tell you right now. I don't. That's an ICT term, right, choach? I don't trade like that. Did you send that 50K account over? Haven't gotten anything yet. Let me know. No, I sent it to top 1. They're supposed to get back to you. My guess is they'll do it tomorrow after New York session. So probably by tomorrow evening you'll have it. That's my guess. If they haven't done by now, they usually get it done during the day, and you get it you'll either get it before 11 or you won't get it till evening. Came quite late. Why is 42.91 a point of interest? That's why. Let's go back here. See, it's a previous 4-hour resistance that we broke out of, and we have never retested. So if we come down here, I can't take a buy off this level because the stop would be based on the previous time when we come down here and held support. And that previous time, your stop is 190 pips, right? Before that candle came back up. So what you can do is focus on these two levels and understand that if you tap this level but close above here, that is an hourly level of support. Right, let's bring it back up, the hourly level. Right, and what happens in that case? You come back above the hourly level after tapping a 4-hour level, and that 4-hour level is also the previous resistance that we're looking to turn into a support. And you close back up above here, you're going to head up. You're retesting the highs. The market has nothing else to do but retest the highs that it's made, the top of this range, right? Now, if you tap this area and you don't close above here, you can say, all right, we've held the hourly, we've tapped the 4-hour, it didn't drive us there, we didn't get a slingshot, we could still come up, it's going to be a slow trickle up, but what's likely to happen is now you're going to get this closure, this drive down and a closure back below, or just another attempt to test this level and see if it could now drive up. But it's going to make another decision here, right? So if you come down here and let's say this comes down here, and the next candle attempts to come back up above the range, it might not be the next candle. You might range a little bit, right? You might get some print and come back down, whatever might happen. Then eventually you come back up here. But the whole point that I'm trying to get across is, right? If you get down there and you don't get this, but you get this, you're not coming up, not necessarily yet, right? You might print a smaller range, like things might change. There's more data printed with every candle, so things might change after this candle, right? There might be a Trump tweet, I don't know. So you can still come up, but now you're creating a range, right? Typically, if this happens, you'll come down and retest this area again to make a decision. So you're either going to get this, at which point I would say any break of the highs here is simple and it takes you up, right? These wicks are your advantage points for partials. The rest of the range is your full TP. And you keep your stops on the current candle here. But majority of the time, this is the off chance, right? But we are bullish on the daily. This can still happen. But if you end up holding this resistance, you'll typically drive back down in range. This could be a position for you on an onion, right? Break of the lows here, you make a top wick. You understand you're coming down to retest the lows. That could be a position for you. The buy limit here could be a position for you because you're probably going to see as this candle comes down, it's probably going to look like this. As it's coming down, it's going to do this. Boom. It's going to give you an entry. You can probably secure some, and then it's going to do that. This is a very high quality position based off the higher time frame levels, right? If you come down here and you hold this again, and this was a position, this was a resistance that turns support, your next retest of it will see a bounce. But as that bounce happens, and then you end up closing below here, right? You can look at this range. So this is what I do in my head. I print all these candles in my head, and then I see them start playing out. And if they start playing out the way I've printed them, I pretty much know what I'm going to do next, right? But you're building a narrative in your head. You're not looking for 2 candles to print a certain way, and you're like, oh, I've seen this, boom. No, you're looking to build the narrative based on everything that's happening in the market. The daily's bullish. The 4 hours just had a bearish closure, but look where it tapped. It's gotten to support on an hourly. If it taps the 4-hour support, now your previous resistance turning into a support. Daily's bullish. You're building a narrative for some buys. Let's just get a bullish hourly candle back in the hourly range. But are you looking at that resistance on the 4-hour? This one right here, yeah, this was a previous 4-hour level, but it was also a previous 4-hour support back in the day on October 19th, right? I don't really look so far in terms of levels, but like this, for us on the 4-hour, this was the most recent time we were in this area. If you can see, we spent quite a bit of time down here and in this chop. This chop sucked. When did this chop start? We started in here on November 28th, and we've been here for the first 2 weeks of December in this chop, right? So like this chop sucked. Now that we're out of it, we got to go to levels that were here last time, and we got to go all the way. right, to October. These were the most recent levels. I'm not going to base anything on those levels. I'm going to base my entries on the most recent levels as we're printing them. But I am going to have an understanding of what happened previously. Market likes to mirror itself, right? That's why we have technical analysis. That's the study of historical price data, right? And why? Because the market mirrors levels, moves, candles. Historical price data gives you a very good advantage. You just got to learn how to read, right? Or learn the language, right? You can't read French if you don't know the language, right? You got to learn French to read French and speak French. Same things. To read candles, you got to learn candles and speak candle, right? Until you learn the language, you just don't understand what it's saying. How do you learn the language? You got to be submersed in it, right? You can't speak a language and learn it in class. You can't. It's going to be very difficult. You got to learn the language as you're submersed in the culture and the language itself. And you have no choice, right? When you have no choice, you start going, por qué, and all that shit, right? And then you kind of figure it out. Same thing here. When you have no choice, right? When you can't speak any other language, and you need to learn how to read here, what do you do? Yeah, I'm not looking for a second sell here. This initial one, yes. This third one, if we start coming up here, I wouldn't look for a wick off this level. You're looking either for a wick off a lower support, but me personally, I'd rather this break down and get some really nice buys later on. That's what I'm going to look for. Just continue with our daily bias. Look, because once this daily friggin' flips, it's going to fill the daily wick. And we have a potential move here that's going to be just nuts, right? So, it doesn't mean it's going to go there in one candle. It might, right? We might see a little bit of chop. We could, typically what happens in these areas, right? When you have a really clean range to the left and you're stuck in a chop, that first breakout doesn't drive it, right? You're going to typically break down to the bottom side, grab orders, fake out, come up, drive through the range, which should be our position, close above the range, get all the buyers in, and probably come back in range for a peak like NYC open or something. And that's going to take you up there, right? But you typically don't just get a breakout of a range and a continued drive. No, you'll come back in a range, grab orders, or you'll range a little bit again, and then push heavy. Because what do you think? There's a bunch of buyers here. There's a bunch of sellers here. When the market hits those, it's going to pull back, and it's too much. It doesn't just drive, right? It activates a bunch of people and goes in the other direction. Because you got to understand the psyche of the trader, right? People are like, most new traders, they break out of the range. As soon as they see the market pushing, you know how many people were selling on this bullish candle? As this bullish candle was coming down here looking like this, you know how many people were selling down here? And look how it closed. Right? This candle at some point looked like this. You didn't close yet, right? You didn't get that closure outside the range. But once you close outside the range, you get a little more, you know. This is all impulse sellers. This is all impulse buyers. Everybody that got caught, trapped, and smacked. You build a narrative, you're not going to get caught in a smaller time frame fake out, or like if you do, it'll be just so far and few between. You're not perfect. You're human. You're flawed, but it's very hard to see everything all the time. Like I make mistakes, right? You know, we all do. No matter how good we are at turns out. Like, I mean, hope you don't make mistakes if you're a surgeon. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, it's kind of no room for error there, bro. But you got plenty of room for error here. Just make sure you learn these lessons for as cheap as possible. Do you use your higher time frame technical analysis to end it off a lower time frame candle? First time here, yeah. I knew how to trade and love hearing new strats theories. Yeah, I tend to build my bias off the higher time frames. If they align, I love going down to the smaller time frames, seeing if the levels off those time frames align, and then I either look for breakouts or closures outside the range for the fake outs, or limit orders off those levels depending on how I can utilize those levels, right? But like, it doesn't matter what you call these things. It doesn't matter like you know, how do I put this correctly? It does matter how you utilize all of this together. It doesn't matter what these parts do on their own. What matters is how they relate to each other, you know, combined in unison, right? How do they interact with each other? How does this closure matter in terms of the hourly? How does this level matter in terms of the hourly and the 4 hour? Where does it make sense to take an entry at this level below it, or to tap the 4-hour level and to take that entry above it, right? You start playing the probability game and you analyze, and then you're like, fuck, I'm okay with waiting if I'm going to get, like, you've been smacked in here enough, right? You've taken the sell down here enough for it just to come back and bite you in the ass. Why don't you just wait for it to tap the higher time frame area, close back above the range? You'll take the buy and, you know, you let it pat you on the back. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a session here. I got to go put my kids to bed, and we've spoken a lot. We had a lot of good value conversation, right? Good talk, good conversation. Signal channel, if we get what I'm planning for, stay locked in. Love your hair. Thank you. I've been growing it since when I started training, since 2017, so almost a decade. Almost 10 years. I've cut it earlier this year because it was getting too heavy when it was down to my knees. I cut it down up to my elbows. So this is roughly what you're seeing right now is exactly half the length of my hair. This is only half. It was down to my knees, but it was too heavy. I was having neck issues. I was having, you know, I had a hernia and it was just too heavy for my neck. So I had to cut half of it. Gang, yeah, I'm going to try my best to be here in the morning. Like, it's been a really wild week. I have stuff like I can't share with you guys right now. It's just some stuff I got to go through, but I say I'm going to show up every morning and I make an attempt to do so. And tomorrow, no way I'm going to be here sooner than 8:30, but I'm going to try to be here for 8:30, 8:45 around that time. If I don't show up, you guys have a bunch of other streams you can go to. You all stream hop. But other than that, hey, I'm going to do my best to be here at 8:30. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate your conversation. I appreciate your support. Jay's always supportive. Thank you, man. Appreciate you as well.
Yeah, of course, my friend.
Appreciate you, Wix.
For sure. Thank you, Christian, Reggie, everybody who spoke today, everyone that donated to the conversation, Nate, Sam, Options. I see you guys. Bougie, definitely. Bougie's killing it. Hope you fucking buy that office one day, Bougie, and fire everybody. Expand it, become a better boss. Become your boss. Yeah, don't fire anybody. Just get, you know, you want people working. Am I leaving? I'm gonna go. Yeah, I gotta go put my kids to bed. My middle one is waiting for me to go put her to bed. It's like she does every night, and everyone's asleep and she sits there. You share my link on X. Thank you. Please drop a like, sub to the channel. Please share this stream so I can grow the community, so I can grow the stream. Am I coming back? I'm probably going to look to come back and trade in the Signal channel with the Signal gang. Yeah, I really want to get these buys in for the daily drive. I think 42.91 is a good area to begin those drives, right? It's the previous resistance we're looking to turn into support. And I think 98 and 91 might provide us opportunities in the next 4-hour candle to really take advantage of the buys. And if we break down completely, we'll know how we at that point when we see whether we see a reaction or not at 42.91, right? So this is a level of interest. Pretty sure we'll see a reaction here. Like 95% sure, 99% sure. So in the Signal channel, yeah, once the market taps here, get locked in because I'm probably going to be looking at the charts and looking to get some entries. Depending on how we print there and how we get down there. Timing matters. What candle we get down there matters. At what time we get down there matters. How the candles look before we got down there. Were there levels printed on the way as we came down here? All of that matters, right? Every candle closure is more data at your disposal to utilize to make a much better quality decision. So let candles close. Don't be as impulsive, right? Remember, I always say, look, how many times have you entered a position? And then you say to yourself, damn, if I just waited an extra 5 minutes, if I just waited an extra 10 minutes, if I just waited for this candle for the next candle, be impulsive. Wait, let it close. Wait for that next candle, right? And then you can actually say to yourself, well, actually, this time I waited and see what's the difference between the time that I didn't wait. And now you have a sample size at that point, right? You're building data, and over time, you just optimize your trading based on that data. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna run. It's been nothing but Japanese here for the last hour because we just haven't set up yet. Or reacted here, nice. Yeah, I'm not looking for anything. I'd rather look for it down here or as we come up. See you in the Signal? Yes, absolutely. If I see something, we'll call it. Other than that, congrats to the Signal gang that took that position earlier. And Zoom gang, I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow. I'm going to try it's not even try my best. It really depends on how things go in the morning, whether I show up here or not, but I'll keep you guys updated. Remember, there's no Asian session tomorrow because today is the last Asian session of the week. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah. So tomorrow's Friday. There's going to be no Asian session. So I really want to get our last trading session of the weekend. I'd love to be there tomorrow morning. So most likely 95%. I'll be there, but I'm probably going to be a bit late. So yeah. All right, Zoom gang. See you guys mañana. Oh, there's more people at the door. What's no point in me even letting you guys in now? Oleg at the door. Oleg, it's late, bro. Stream is ending. Kaput. Finito la comedia, right? The stream is over. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. Once again, if you're new here, if you're not, please sub, please like, and please share the stream. I really appreciate it. We're growing 28K. Let's get to 29 now. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you guys on Monday. Also on Sunday is our private Asian session for the Signal channel and for everyone in the private game. So we will be there on Sunday. I'll do a 50K account giveaway from Top 1 Futures. So we will do this. We do this every Sunday. So for anyone in the Signal channel private game, I'll see you guys in there. If you're not in there, you got 2 days, 3 days to subscribe, to buy, and to join us for our session. Yeah, that's it. I think Marcos, or was it Marcos? What was it? What was his name? Who won last week? Carlos? Something like that. It was his first day. Calvin. It was his first day. Yeah, we in the Signal channel, we did the market open. He won a 50K account on his first day. Oh, plus we won a trade that day. We had a nice trade, but he won a 50K account also that day. So yeah, let's call it on that note, and hasta la pasta. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Signal channel, stay locked in. I'm gonna go put my kids to bed and then see you guys in there. All right, gang, as for me, my time here is up, and just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Thanks again for getting me to 28K. Let's get to 50. Let's get this 24-hour stream. Let's get that going. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a wild time. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Later.
Ok, terminamos, Johnny. No hay nada que podamos hacer. Le intentamos.
¿Qué? ¿Qué?